Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to this month's Vanners collaboration. Well, it's been our turn to choose the subject this month, and this is a collaboration between a lot of like-minded people with motorhomes or caravans who get together to give their take on the same subject. And this month the subject is the best of times and the worst of times. It'll be really interesting to see what people come up with, although I'm sure there'll be some we have in common. Everybody else's logos are going past on the screen here, so please make sure that you watch all of them, and the link to the playlist and their channels is in the description down below. So let's kick off. The best of times. Well, one of the things that we think is the best of times in a motorhome is the freedom to travel, in particular the excitement of travelling abroad under your own steam. And we've been to Spain and Portugal and France. We had planned to go further afield this year, but it hasn't taken place yet. But the year's not over yet. But yeah, it's the things you see, the unexpected things along the way. And some of our best of times have been while we've been travelling abroad. Particularly thinking of a little place, a campsite on the border between Spain and Portugal, where we came across a Romany festival. It was absolutely incredible. Never seen anything like it. Apparently it's one of the biggest in the world, and it happens every December. So we might come across it again, but oh, it was wonderful. And the other thing from Spain that really stands out is Montfragüe National Park, where we had vultures flying within 6 foot of our heads. Honestly, what a thrill. So that was definitely one of the best of times. And we went all the way down to Gibraltar. So really, we saw so much, it's hard to pick out the best of times, but the actual concept of travelling abroad under our own steam is our best of times. Another best of times is how we use the van. We use it as well to see family. We've gone to weddings, we've gone to birthdays, we've met up with the kids, and that's got to have been one of my best days this year, was going to Monkey World and then seeing Alan playing childminder and challenging the kids with the drone. That was wonderful. So, yeah, you could go on, but the other best of times is just the relaxing outside of the van, getting away from it all. So that's the best of times. So, take a drink before we move on to the worst of times. Oh, we've had a few of those. I'm going to start with when you buy a van and taking it back to the dealers with snagging. Now, this particularly relates to our Contiki and the perennial attitude of computer says no, and the waiting for parts and the travelling to get things done and the fighting to get things done, and ultimately, in our case, selling the van back to them. But I think really the worst of times, certainly this year and probably ever, has been Alan having his heart attack. And we were at Roxbury Park. We were just about to start our holiday and we were hoping for a nice relaxed time, and Alan had a heart attack. And I'm there on my own then in the van with Alan in hospital. But these things have two sides to them. Quite obviously that's the worst of times for me. I didn't know whether he was going to live or die. But they do seem to bring out the best in people. The wardens at Roxbury Park were wonderful. It was lucky we were only 5 miles from Portsmouth University Hospital, so we were right on the doorstep of one of the best cardiology units in the country. And people were so nice. And the fact that we got the van there, I didn't have to go and find a hotel and cope with things that weren't familiar. I had everything to hand. So the fact the van was there was one of the best of times. Doesn't quite compare to that as being the worst. But one of our other worsts is the breakdown in northern Spain. It is on one of our past videos, our review of 2023 called The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. So take a look. But the gearbox fire, that wasn't the original breakdown, but we were in the back of, well, we were actually in our van being towed on the back of a tow truck, and the van caught fire. The gearbox was broken. The stupid guy towed it without disconnecting the automatic transmission, and we were on a motorway in northern Spain with the van on fire. Well, that was hell, as was the week we spent in the Holiday Inn Express, although, again, this is the good side of people. The people at the Holiday Inn Express in Vitoria could not have been nicer. And another good side from this, it cost us an absolute fortune, but as soon as we got back to the UK and took it back to the dealers, which we did straight away, they came up with all of the money. Our accommodation, our food, the cost of the gearbox, everything. And it was ultimately sorted out through the insurers, but we weren't out of pocket. So that has to be a good side.
I must say who it is.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Southdowns. Southdowns Motorhomes in Portsmouth, and they were absolutely brilliant. They were also supportive throughout the whole ordeal. They were on the phone to us, trying to help us every which way they could. So, the best of times and the worst of times, and sometimes the worst of times has added benefits. And before I sign off, there's just one more added benefit from one of the worst of times. That worst of times was Alan's heart attack, and that meant he couldn't drive for a month. So some further good came of that. I had to drive the motorhome, towing the car. I'd always said I could do it, but never tried, and that just proved it. So some good came of it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please do watch everybody else's best and worst. And as I say, the link to the playlist is in the description down below. Give us a thumbs up and all the others, and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one, whether that be Vanna's collab or when we're off on the road again. But for now,